Hello, federal employee friends. This is Cooper with FedRetirementPlanning.com, making your federal employee retirement system simple. And today, this episode is actually specifically for military members. And anytime I do these videos, I want to make it clear I greatly appreciate your service to our country. It's because of people like you sacrificing that I'm able to make these YouTube videos or just work in general. So I greatly appreciate it, and any way I can give back to the military community, I'd like to do so. But this episode is going to deal specifically with unemployment benefits for military veterans. So whenever you transition from, military life into civilian life, and sometimes you recognize that getting a job isn't as easy as it should be, there's unemployment benefits for you, as there should be. So obviously transitioning from military life to civilian life is a big step. Going from being overseas or being deployed or just being in the military in general, going into a civilian career where you're sitting at a desk or doing whatever you're going to be doing, that's a big step. And what often happens, unfortunately, is people in the community sometimes don't recognize the leadership skills and things that you've developed while you've been in military service. So finding a job can prove to be difficult, okay? Not all the time. There's a lot of businesses that recognize that a veteran is somebody who's dedicated their life to a cause and has gained a lot of leadership skills and things like that they can use in the workplace. However, it can be difficult. So because of that, the military actually offers some unemployment benefits for you that frankly should be taken advantage of if they're needed. Now, the program that's available is available to the majority of military members, ex-military members, and it's actually a program that's run by the federal government, but each state has their own, representatives. And the program you may have heard of is called UCX, or also Unemployed Compensation for Ex-Military Members. Now, there's a myriad of factors that go into whether you're actually going to qualify to receive or be under UCX. However, if you receive compensation from, say, separation pay or retirement pay, that's going to reduce the amount that you can receive through, unemployment compensation for ex-military members. So essentially, you'd start at the state unemployment office, okay? And each state has their own unemployment office. You talk to their representatives, and they would be able to determine if you can receive unemployment benefits and how much you'd be able to receive. Now, this office is not only going to be able to help you apply for state unemployment, but it's also going to help you find a job. So they're going to be there to help you actually find employment. And you need to make sure when you go that you take some identification, say a resume, social security card, birth certificate, and just some general history on yourself. That way, it's almost like going to an interview. So approach it in that manner. And then the final thing that you need to bring is your DD-214, which is, essentially a certificate for your release from the military. Now, a few things must be noted, okay? So first off, federal law requires that you are physically in the state in which you file your first claim based on military wages, okay? So you want to make sure that you're in the actual state, and you can file in the state in which you separate from the military, but you may need to transfer that, so make sure you talk to the Unemployment Bureau to decide, the Unemployment Bureau in the state that you're moving to help you coordinate those benefits. Second, and this is kind of obvious, but you must have been discharged under honorable circumstances, okay? So no dishonorable discharges. They won't honor that or haven't in the past, and that's one of their requirements. Third, unemployment benefits are based on your actual military wages, okay? Now, that being said, separation pay and retirement military pay can also factor into that, but it's mainly based on your military wages while you were in active duty. Finally, fourth, each state has their own, unique way about going about things. So check with your state unemployment office or employment office and find out how they can help and what exactly their process details. Now, if you're watching this, there's a good chance that you are an unemployed veteran, And if you're between 35 and 60 years old, there's actually a new GI Bill that can help you with your unemployment. So I would suggest taking a look into that. And one of the great things about this is you can be eligible whether you have GI Bill eligibility or not. Okay, MGIB typically expires about 10 years after you leave active duty, but this can be eligible regardless of that. But finally, this brings me back to just a planning point for you, I guess, current active duty military members. You need to make sure that you have your finances in order before you decide to leave active duty. You need to have what I call a rainy day fund, okay? So a rainy day fund is when something happens that you weren't expecting, okay? So yeah, a medical bill or your car breaks down or something like this that puts you in a position, or you lose your job. This puts you in a position where you know, you're not having income, so you need to survive on what you have, okay? A good emergency fund initially starts at about $1,000 and then goes up to 3 to 6 months. Ideally, I would like to see you guys have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in a high interest rate checking account or a money market account, something that's highly liquid. That way you can pull from quickly in case of an emergency, in case of a rainy day. Okay, this is very important, and this should be an absolute foundation for which you build your finances from. Okay, because if you don't have something in place to protect yourself when the unexpected life occurrences happen, because they will happen. Okay, that's a guarantee. You know, there's a few things that I can guarantee, but one of the guarantees is there will be things that happen in your life that are unexpected. And oftentimes they happen in your finances. Okay, so you don't want to be in a position where you're unemployed and have no money to help you. Okay, so prepare that emergency fund, build it up initially to $1,000, scraping whatever you can together, and then from there, build it up to about 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. That should cover you in a high interest rate checking account. Okay, but this has been Cooper with FedRetirementPlanning.com. Military members, if you have other questions on your military benefits or you like these videos, I'd love to do more if there's the demand there. I typically do this for civilian employees, but I think there's certainly a benefit to be had and a lot of complexities within military retirement and just your military career that I'd love to be of assistance in. But feel free to leave those in the comments below. Please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter yet, click up here and subscribe to the newsletter. Okay, I send this out every other week. It's a newsletter talking about different things that you need to be aware of. Last week, for instance, I sent out a TSP quick reference guide cheat sheet that just free of charge. It's just a PDF that I use with clients, and I just decided I wanted to send it to my newsletter signups. Okay, so if you'd like those types of things and you'd like to be educated on your benefits, as you should be, sign up for that.